Good morning, students. I hope you're doing well. And I wanted to read to you one of my favorite books because September 11th is on Friday, and you might not be old enough to know what happened on that day in 2001, but your parents might or your grandparents might. And I wanted to share a story about a little fireboat that was there. It's called Fireboat, The Heroic Adventures of the John J. Harvey by Maira, Kalman, published by G.P. Putnam's Sons. New York City, 1931. Amazing things were happening, big and small. The Empire State Building went up, up, up. Have you been to New York City before? Seen the Empire State Building? It used to be one of the tallest buildings in the world. Now it's not, compared to a lot of other buildings, like the Salesforce building. Babe Ruth hit his 611th home run in Yankee Stadium. The tasty candy treat Snickers hit the store. The George Washington Bridge was suspended elegantly across the mighty Hudson River. Champion Pendley, calling of Blarney, won Best in Show at the Westminster Kennel Club. On a hot and jazzy night, the word hot-cha was invented. Hot-cha. It's in Harlem in New York City during the jazz era. And on a sunny, fresh day, the John J. Harvey Fireboat was launched. Have you seen the fireboats in the Embarcadero? You can go and see fireboats here in San Francisco. There were 12 fireboats in New York City. The Harvey was the largest, fastest, and shiniest fireboat of them all. See the hoses that would spray the water if a wharf, something on the water caught on fire, or a boat. It had 5 diesel engines, so it could go 20 miles per hour. That's pretty fast. 8 pipes that could shoot 16,000 gallons of water per minute, equal to 20 fire trucks. A control dial in the pilot's cabin. Many brass nozzles housed in the gold room. A completely round steering wheel. Ropes, called lines. A very nice can to oil all squeaks, and lots of levers, buttons, and buckets. There was a pilot and a crew ready in 2 minutes to fight the fires. They were a brave group. And there was a dog named Smokey, who did not put out the fires, but had many nice spots. The Harvey went up and down the river fighting fires. It fought fires at the bustling piers. The piers were the places where the ships and trains brought all manner of merchandise to be sold in the city, like wood and cotton and bananas and bubble gum and everything. That still happens in Oakland. It fought the fire of the great ocean liner Normandy. Sometimes the Harvey just went out to shoot water in celebration. Many years passed. A new captain had come on board, Bob Lenny. He and his crew fought many fires. But New York was changing. The Twin Towers were now the tallest buildings in New York City. The piers were closing. Have you heard about the Twin Towers? 1995. The city no longer needed so many fireboats. The Harvey was considered old and useless. It sat in the water for 5 years, waiting to be sold for scrap. And then a very surprising thing happened. A group of friends were eating at a restaurant called Florent. They had heard about the fireboat and decided something. Let's save the Harvey. Let's buy her. Everyone needs a fireboat. We won't put out fires. We'll just have fun. And they did. So all these friends got together and helped to buy this fireboat and restore it. They took it to Cattle's ship repair yard in Staten Island. Even there, they said, she is old. It will be hard to fix her. But the owners said, fix. So they fixed beautifully. They repaired the 2 propellers, making them new with a shiny coat of brass. Brass does not rust. They repaired the holes with steel plates and covered the plates where the rivets wept. The rivets are like the little screws in the boat that keep the pieces together. They scraped barnacles and seaweed off the hull and painted her with a new shiny coat of red paint. And once again, the Harvey was on the water. Tim, the engineer, keeping things running smoothly. Jessica, the assistant engineer at the controls in the noisy engine room. Andrew welding, Chase helping, John fixing, Tom cooking. Huntley at the wheel, and Bob Lenny watching over everyone and being very proud. They made friends with the only other fireboats on the river, the Firefighter and the McKean. Toot, toot, toot. A boat says hello with 4 toots. Toot, 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 toot. Everyone said, the Harvey is a nice old boat, but she could never be used to fight a fire. Never. But then, on September 11th, 2001, something so huge and horrible happened that the whole world shook. It was 8:45 in the morning, another beautiful and sunny day. 2 airplanes crashed into the Twin Towers, crashed into these 2 strong buildings. The sky filled with fire and smoke. The buildings exploded and fell down to the ground. Many people were hurt. Many lives were lost. The news spread. The city had been attacked. Everyone was terrified. But people were brave. The entire city sprang into action. Firefighters and police officers and doctors and construction workers and cooks and teachers and children and parents. The mayor was strong. He said, "We will all work together. We will not be broken." What were the people of the Harvey doing when planes hit? Bob Lenny was trimming hedges. Tom was drinking tea in his kitchen. Chase was walking his dog Radar. Tim was reading the paper. Andrew was welding. John was working. Huntley was reading David Copperfield. The Harvey was Jessica was writing a story. The Harvey was snoozing at the pier. They all had one thought: get the Harvey, get to the Harvey, and they did. They called the fire department. John J. Harvey, ready to help. How can we help? The answer came: you can't help fight the fire, but you can ferry people to safety. Suddenly, an urgent message came loud and clear. John J. Harvey, where are you? We need you. We need you. The water pipes were broken and buried, and the fire trucks that had raced to the scene could not pump the water. You know, the fire hydrants that are on the corners? They couldn't get to the water source. The firefighters attached hoses to the Harvey. The Harvey fought the fires alongside the McKean and the Firefighter, right along the pier. For 4 days and 4 nights, the Harvey pumped water. The crew took turns sleeping. People brought supplies: fuel, sweaters, gloves, pizza, sandwiches, and coffee. They worked and cried. They fought the fire until it was under control. Finally, it was time for Harvey to go home. Everyone on the boat had never seen anything so terrible, and they had never felt so proud. The Harvey was a hero, and everyone knew it. The Harvey won an important award. It says National Preservation Award, John J. Harvey, for capping a distinguished career of service by coming out of retirement to provide invaluable aid in New York City's hour of need, October 18th, 2001. And at the ceremony, the audience cheered, and some even cried. So now the Twin Towers are gone, Something new will be built. There's actually a memorial there that's very beautiful if you ever go and visit. The heroes who died will be remembered forever. The Harvey is back to being a very happy boat, not scrapped, not useless, not forgotten. A proud and plucky friend, and all that's left to say is ha-cha and thank you. Wait a minute, there is something more to say. The friends of the Harvey have found a little tugboat to adopt. Doesn't everyone need a tugboat? You can also visit the John J. Harvey if you ever go to New York City. And that is the story of the Fireboat. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you stay safe and stay inside with your families today. And I'll see you next week. Bye.